Farmer Mike, live from the #1 urban farm in America, Ophelia's Blue Vine Farm in the Jazz District, where it lives, with another impromptu masterclass. But before I go in, don't forget to stop by my world famous YouTube channel, Ophelia's Blue Vine Farm on YouTube. Over 576 videos, all dedicated to urban farming. There's grandmother Ophelia. And this is our website, Ophelia'sBlueVineFarm.com. Farmer Mike masterclass on taking what you have and making the best of it, and why we stick with the old school techniques, because the new school techniques are nothing but shortcuts. And you know what shortcuts are? Shortcuts are shortcuts. So wrapping up today, got my old school tiller. This is the workhorse right here. Workhorse right here. I bought several small tillers over the years. Every 2 years, we have to buy those small 2-cycle type tillers, because they don't make them like they used to. Can I go in? Oh, I'm gonna go in on this masterclass tonight. It's feeling good. They don't make them like they used to. Masterclass, what real food tastes like. So, you know, I started Ophelia's Blue Vine Farm because I wanted my kids to know what real food tastes like, what a real tomato tastes like, what a real apple tastes like. You know, if you go to the supermarket, you may only be able to choose from 5, 6, 7 types of apples, and you would think that's all that exists, but that's not true. There are hundreds of different types of apples, but some go out of favor, or have gotten out of favor, because big industry is looking for an apple that ships well, that's uniform, that doesn't have any blemishes and things like that. And so we narrow it down to just a few, like Granny Smith around the holidays, the tartar one, or Honeycrisp, or a Red Delicious, or things like that, you know. So, but there are several different varieties of apples, just like there's several different varieties of chickens. And different chickens look different, but they also lay different colored eggs. Okay. Now, why, when you go to a Price Chopper or a big store like that, Hy-Vee and Aldi's, why do you only see like the white eggs, or the brown custom eggs? And that is because it's about money and it's about profit. And a white hen will lay, well, there has been a white hen on record, that's the white leghorn, that's actually laid over 365 eggs. And so the big industry loves the white leghorn. We have a few, just because we love diversity. We know diversity makes us better. Farmer Mike's going in on this master class. Okay. But we don't want to just have one particular type. We want to have diversity in the flock. And so I'm going to show you a couple of different, I'm going to show you some eggs we got today from both of my flocks, the Vine Street flock and my Edwardsville flock. And look at these beautiful eggs. These beautiful eggs right here. And a lot of people have never seen such beauty, but it's hard work. It is hard work. Now, each one of these, with the exception of the leghorn, the leghorns lay almost every day. But here we're not getting full production from the leghorns because those are new. Okay. But all of these are different types of chickens. Some of them you haven't seen the blue ones yet. It's ultra rare. Okay. But just know, when you're producing a local product like this, okay, so these are unwashed. These are straight out the butt. These are unwashed right here. When you produce a local product, a lot of love goes into it, and one of the reasons why we have the heart-shaped box, and that this is just, I'm putting it in here. We actually have some custom printing for these right here. Okay. So when you go to the grocery store, think this is really how your eggs should look. Okay. So this is real eggs, and you better believe me, the taste is amazing. If you don't believe me, watch that live video on our YouTube channel, Ophelia's Blue Vine Farm on YouTube, where Dee Dee Bryant, the radio legend, comes down here about every other week and gets the Ophelia's eggs, because she says, Farmer Mike, the taste is just, those country style eggs, those ones my grandmother used to have and put in baking dishes and things like that, what real food tastes like. So you can go to Hy-Vee and you can get those $1.50 eggs, but you better believe me that those hens are in a factory being fed the cheapest type of food, and a lot of those chickens have a very miserable life, unlike the Vine Street hens, which are woodland foraged and get fed premium food. They get pampered, they get loved. And why do they do that? Why? Because we're working till the street lights come on, because we love what we do, and that is the spirit of Grandmother Ophelia. And if that runs in you, let me know in the comment section. So, oh man, nothing like doing it the old-fashioned way, the old school way. There is something to that. I want to show you one of my tobacco planters. I have two. This is, I don't know if you can see it. It's an old school tobacco planter right here from the 1800s, and we will actually use this. I'll bring the other part in it later this week, the sled, and a little bit later this week. And this is back in the day where the black farmer used to sit, and it has a, this is where the water goes in. So you would fill this with water, and then this would go on, this would have a hole here that has a hose, and it goes on a sled. Back in the day, it was pushed, the whole contraption would be pushed by a horse or a mule. Farmer Bob, he uses a tractor, 80 horsepower John Deere, and so we'll use something like that as well. And this will allow us to dry farm these acres, so we're farming without water. We only water them once. So when they go in the ground, this is, you'll have to go back and you'll have to watch the videos on the YouTube channel and see this in action. So we'll fill this with water. It'll create a furrow being pulled by the John Deere tractor, and then we'll sit, there's 2 seats on each side, and we'll take our starter plants. We'll grow them for about 2.5 months inside the greenhouse. And then when the weather permits, we'll go out, load them up on the sled, that's what we call this, and we'll drop this machine, will create the furrow, and we'll drop the plant. So we'll do tomatoes, we'll do peppers, we'll do the watermelon starts, the cantaloupe starts, all this way, old school right here. I'm gonna show you right here. Oh, look at that. So this is 1800s. This is an 1800 tobacco planter, and that's what black farmers used back in the day. So why would we do that, Farmer Mike, today? Well, because we want to keep our inputs low, okay? And there's something to be said about doing it the old school way. I have another one over here. It may be a little too dark. Let me walk over here and see if you can see this. This is another 1800s sled, and it has a plastic bucket on it, but I don't know. So if you can see the wheels right here. So this is the same thing. This was modified though with a plastic bucket. This is a tobacco planter as well. And then that's where the hitch. And so it has these big wheels on each side. And so that's a bit of history. And we will actually use that, because the motto is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we're gonna do it the old school way, and we'll get an old school product, and we want to keep with those systems. And that's how you get things like this that are rare, and that's how you get things like this that are rare. And that's how you get, we got things like this that are rare. That's what old school do. If you love this video, don't forget, visit my YouTube page, Ophelia's Blue Vine Farm on YouTube. Visit the website right there, Ophelia's Blue Vine Farm.com or OpheliasBlueVine.com. I own both the domains, so you can't get lost. Look us up online. I believe we still have a 5-star Google rating, and that's because the police, not the police, I'm thinking, the people love what we do. And I guess the police love us too. And Pablo loves us too, right? Pablo the farm cat. Pablo the farm cat. I had to go down to the police station and make a report. Got catnapped. I got him back with his handy dandy tracker. I got Pablo back. Watch that video on my YouTube channel, Ophelia's Blue Vine Farm on YouTube. Go to bed, Pablo. Still looking for Pablo's brother and sister, Midnight and Tuxedo. Still on a hunt, but that's another video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, share this video. Farmer Mike, live from the #1 urban farm in America, Ophelia's Blue Vine Farm in Kansas City's Jazz District, where it lives.